Hello, everybody, and this is Dave with the Compass Options Live Trading Room. And this is the weekly Periscope video for, it says 122, but it's actually 123. I didn't get it done over the weekend. And I'm going to I'm going to also include the 2022 review in case some folks missed it. We've got a lot of new people coming in, so I wanted to just add that to this. So I'm going to cover some recent trades, basically just the trades for this month so far, and to kind of do a recap of where we're at. Again, so welcome, and the disclaimer here is all signals and trading opportunities provided, both orally written and electronically, for educational and demonstration purposes only. Trading is very, very risky, so you should never trade with more money than you can afford to lose. And neither myself or Right Line Trading are licensed financial advisors, so we won't be giving any financial advice. Okay, let's move along here. So this is just the review of some of the trades we've had. Not every single one, but most of them are in here. You can just read down and see them. We've had basically so far from 1-3 through 123, which is today. I wanted to add today in there because we had a big loss in Rivian, and I wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of that. I'm sure you are. But again, 28 trades and 2 losses, 28 wins and 2 losses, sorry, for the month so far, from the 3rd to the 23rd, 93% win rate. Again, we try to keep this, our win rate generally stays around 90%. It's been a little bit above that this year so far. But for last year, it hovered right around 90%. And again, we had some nice ones in here. You can see the nice trades. This STZ was a debit spread trade, 55% gain. We had this loss in ENPH that went against us pretty hard, and Rivian, which was bearish all along and then just exploded up today, and we had to take a loss on that. Now, we had a couple of small wins today in CRM and TSM. Market was pretty strong today, but yeah, we've had some nice wins here, and a lot of good ones. Hit Tesla for 24%. Mostly in the 20 to 25 to 30% range on most of these. Amazon with 40. So basically, I just want to recap. I keep track of if you had invested $2,000 in each one of the trades that we called out in the trade room. Some alerted, some just in the trade room. 2,000 invested in each trade you have 28 wins, 2 losses, 2 scratches. That would have produced a little over $7,300 in profits in the first 3 weeks of the month. So pretty good. It just depends on how much you invest. I just use this as arbitrary. And if the price comes in like 5.4 options we could be able to buy, I always round it down. So I'm basically understating exactly what the profits would be. Okay, so here's the SPY chart. This is the daily chart of the SPY as of we moved down here the last week or two, and then move up to the 200, full back below the 200. This is 100 right here, purple one is 200. Popped up above it today, shot way up, actually right to the end, to the top of the wedge, and then pulled back again. So we're waiting to see what happens tomorrow. The market is still set bullish. We are in earnings season, which tends to Okay, I had this thing muted, so I'm going to start over again. You probably were seeing stuff on here, but anyway, let's get this started again. Again, this is the weekly Periscope video for 2023, and I'm also going to do the 2022 review in here. So let's get started. All trading signals and signals and trading opportunities provided, whether it's orally, written, or electronically, are for educational and demonstration purposes only. Trading is very risky, so you should never trade with more money than you can afford to lose. And neither myself or Right Line Trading are licensed financial advisors. So some of these slides are going to look redundant to you, so you just went through these. But these are most all the trades from the beginning of the year, from 1/3 through today, 1/23. And we have 28 wins, 2 losses, 93% win rate. We had a couple of losers in here, the ENPH we had back here when the market reversed on us hard, and Rivian today, which skyrocketed up today. It was bearish on the daily for day after day, moved up today. We had to take a loss on that. We had to get out, and which we did this morning. But other than that, the trade success has been very, very good. We're very consistent as far as our wins on these things. Some of them were overnight, some of them are intraday. But the percentage win rate is staying right up there. Again, we try to keep it around 90. Like to see it around 90. Sometimes it can slip down to 85, 86, but right now it's at 93. And this is just kind of a recap of the Compass room for this year so far, 1/3 to 1/23. I looked at each one of the trades, and $2,000 invested in each trade with 28 wins, 2 losses, 2 scratches, would have produced a little over $7,300 in profits. And this is pretty conservative, because if you got 2,000 and I can get like 5.5 contracts, I'll only take 5 instead of 6. So that keeps it on the conservative side, which is what I want to do. But anyway, the trade so far this month, 2,000 would have produced 7,300 in profits. Some put in less than that, some put in more than that, but I just kind of wanted to use that as a baseline. And here's the SPY. Just quickly look at the SPY. It's been in a bear market all year. This is another bear market rally right here. We pulled back. We created a higher low so far. If the market stays up, this could become a higher low, which if we can produce a higher high, we would likely be breaking the back of the bear market, but we haven't done that yet. We have got above the 200, but there's a wedge comes in right here, which it just about moved up to today, and that's what we want to see it break. But it's still above the 200-day moving average. We're in earnings season, which is fairly bullish, so we'll see where it goes. And again, for anybody new, I put some trade examples here on the charts that we use. This is Tesla from a while back. These are Heiken Ashi candles. I put these purposely on here as Heiken Ashi candles. Heiken Ashi candles are basically candles that use 2 candles to make one. So you can see the trend very smoothly in them. So when you go from candles with a wick and a tail, or just a wick, and they go to a flat bottom, then every one of these every one of these candlesticks has a flat bottom on it. That shows you that the stock is moving up strongly. In fact, the candles even get bigger and bigger. It's a strong up move. And then as it compresses up here, you would get out. And you can see the compass system here is all green. This is the multi-time frame Laguerre here. Here is the current time frame Laguerre, current time frame momentum. So both of these are green, telling us that this is getting maximum amount of institutional buying in it right now, which is what we use the compass system for. Now this is a SPY trade, and I use a little bit different look on this chart, but I basically wanted to show a Heiken Ashi reversal on bearish. You see the wick here, followed by a flat top. That's the Heiken Ashi reversal on the bearish. And you notice that this is the current time frame Laguerre I included in here, which went from green to yellow, showing a bearish move. And the market just moves down nice and hard and flattens out here. So you would get in here, take your profits here, and you're out. This I keep on here. This is called the Bollinger Bandwidth. And bandwidth expands as stocks break out of compression, and then as they go back into compression, it compresses. So you can see the bandwidth expansion here as the stock moves up, it moves down, and then as the bandwidth comes back in again, it tells you you're going into another compression. You can see that right there. Okay, and again, this is another SPY trade, another Heikin-Ashi reversal right here. As we break below this VWAP, this volume weighted average price, this pink line. So as the stock comes down, we get a pop out of the box signal as the stock breaks below the VWAP, and then goes ahead and stays below it. And this is where you would get in, and right here, and then just write it down. And then you can see here we're getting compression again, and you would get out. Take your profits right here as everything starts to compress. The dots go yellow, the trend dots go yellow, the multi-time frame goes blue. You're out of it well before that. Okay, this is QSR. This is a trade we took, and this is a daily chart in QSR, just so you can see what we look at in the daily. I try to align all my trades so that the daily chart and the 5-minute chart are aligned. So if I want to go long a stock, I need the daily chart to also be bullish. So this obviously was bullish on QSR. You notice we've got blue and green across the board here. This is a daily time frame. So this is a multi-time frame, and this is a current time frame. This would be showing daily candles. This would be showing the daily, the 3 days and the 9 days. All three of those. That's the triple screen that we look at right here. And here's QSR on the 5-minute. This is where we actually traded it. See the compass system goes green right here on this candle. As the stock comes down to the 15 EMA, bounces off of it. Notice we're above the VWAP, and you just take the trade right here, write it up to the top, start to get some compression. The compass system with the current time frame goes yellow, you take your profits. It's pretty straightforward. And this is the QSR on the Dominator system. This corresponds to the trade that we took. You can see where the Dominator system starts to produce buy signals right here, and you can just write it right up. Everything stays mostly green. As long as there's buy signals here, then if you've got basically the number of stocks moving up and up volume and upticks is way outnumbering the stocks moving down on down volume and down ticks. So this is how we use the Dominator system in conjunction with the compass system to get the highest probability trade setups. Basically, we want to take a look at the market internals. The market internals are bullish. We want to be trading bullish, so we want to be looking at bullish stocks. Okay, this is a SPY trade we took on the Dominator a while back. Again, right here, you see this sell signal right here and here, and the background is pink, light pink, and dark pink. That's bearish. This is a 15 EMA right here as the stock breaks below the 15 EMA. That's a nice little entry spot, and write it down to here, and then you get out as soon as it switches back. You notice that the sell signal went away. You're getting some green candles. You take a profit right there. So most of these SPY trades can be pretty quick, as a matter of fact. And again, this is the Dominator system that's showing all of the internals on each one of the 5 indexes that it tracks. It's looking for stocks moving up on up volume and up ticks versus stocks moving down on down volume and down ticks across the SPY, the Qs, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the New York Stock Exchange. So it looks at all 5 of those indexes. This is a trade we took in ENPH. Nice short trade right here. Again, this is the daily chart at ENPH. You can see how nice this came out of dynamic compression here. Fell down really beautifully. Just kept on going down. We took this as an overnight trade. This was a Tesla trade we took. It was a short. Again, you notice how easy it is to spot bullish and bearish just by looking at the color schemes here. You see how this is a 5-minute chart. You see how we're below the VWAP. You see the stock is breaking down below the 15 EMA. We get everything went from blue to yellow, so everything went bearish across the multi-time frame and the current time frame of the gear. You've got a pop out of the box signal telling you that you're coming out of compression. You just take Tesla short here, and you don't have no reason to get out. Everything's staying red. You write it down, write it down, write it down. You get a blue color here. You take your profits right down there. KHC, another one. This was a daily chart. This is when we held overnight. I'll show you where we took it, but this was an overnight one we took, and it kind of compressed here and gapped up for us, and we took profits on this thing. Again, you see the pop out of the box signal, you see the dynamic compression zone break, you see everything green. This is a bullish setup. STZ, we took this as a bearish trade. This was one of the nice ones we had. We took it on this candle right here as a day trade, and we did it with a debit spread, and I think we made 55% on this one. This was really a nice one. You see how red everything is here on STZ. Obviously, the compass system is telling us the institutions are selling this stuff. NUNH, another short. Again, institutions selling. You can see it across the board here. This is another daily chart. We took this, we took it overnight, and we wrote it down. And I think we just kept it overnight one day and then took the profits on it. Another nice trade. Same thing with DG. This is DG on the 5-minute. And I just kind of want to point out, you see you see what you've got here. You see this white line? That is a pivot point. That's a very strong resistance level. And as DG comes down here, you see it's still blue, so we're not touching it. It turns yellow right here. Turns yellow right here as it comes below the VWAP with a pop out of the box signal. You go short right here. You take your trade right here. You write it down, and I think we get out here. You could have probably stayed in it here because you can see it's still short and still moving down. But I just want you to be able to see these setups, how good this compass system is as identifying these strong and weak stocks. All right, so let's talk briefly about the highest probability trade setups and entry criteria. This is for anybody new. This is something everybody in the room is aware of, I think. But basically, we're looking for the dominator signals in the background color to align. So if the dominator is giving us green background in buy signals, that means we've got a nice long. If it's got a red background in a sell signal, it's a nice short. Sometimes the dominator is not going to have signals because it means the market is choppy, and then we have to lean on the compass system. We're also going to take these, enter these trades on a breakout of dynamic compression zone, for example. The key here is you want to buy at support and sell at resistance. Breaking out of the dynamic compression zone is one of the support or resistance levels. As it breaks above it, it's support. As it breaks below it, it's resistance. So you're breaking down. But you can also take it off of a VWAP. You can take it off of a 15 EMA. You just want to be taking the trade when you have a support resistance level nearby that you can lean on. So if it breaks it goes against you, you have a relatively quick exit if you want. We'd like to see high Kanachi reversal candles. Those usually give us confirmation that the reversal has taken place. We want to trade in the same directions as a stock's current trend. So if a stock is bullish on the day and green, we're not going to be taking shorts in it. We're only, if it's green for the day and it's moving up, it's bullish, we're only going to take it long, and vice versa on the shorts. And we also like to take the breakout in the same direction as the current market trend, if there is a market trend. And a lot of that's going to be identified by both the SPY on the compass system that you can see, and also the dominator system is going to tell you what the current direction of the market is, because you're going to have your buy signals and sell signals on the dominator system. And then we want the modified Laguerre for the current time frame, or basically the momentum for the current time frame and the momentum for the multi-time frame. We want these to match. They need to be green or blue for a long and red or yellow for a short. That way we're getting everything aligned here. This is how we find the highest probability trade setups. And we'd like to see the Bollinger Band expanding. And if you're breaking out of dynamic compression, you almost always have the Bollinger Bands expanding. You don't really have to look for that, but it is something I look for. And you also want to look for stocks that have relative strength or weakness versus the SPY. So you look at what the SPY is doing and you look at what your stock is doing. And if the SPY is up 0.5% and your stock is up 1.5%, and you look at the 5-minute candles and it's outperforming the SPY, that's relative strength. It's very important, because if you go long a stock with relative strength or short a stock with relative weakness, it's going to give you a lot more cushion in that trade if the SPY turns around and starts to head against you, because you've got a trade that's outperforming the SPY, and it's going to give you a lot more time to get out. It's also probably going to allow you to take a profit even if the SPY starts to head against you. And this is something, if it may be a swing trade, the daily chart must match the direction as well. I would move this up to the top. Anytime you're going to take a trade, if you go taking an intraday trade, for example, using a 5-minute candlesticks, look at the daily first. Make sure that the daily chart is aligned with the trade that you're taking. So in other words, if you're going long, make sure the daily chart is also bullish. If you're going short, make sure the daily chart is also bearish, because it allows you to stay in the trade a lot longer. You're not going to get shaken out by a few moves because you know you've got a good daily chart to lean on, and you can take the trade overnight if you want to. If you go long a stock that's bearish on the daily, there's no way you can hold it overnight because it's set up bearish and it's going to likely go against you. And if you got a pop out of the box signal that we showed you, these little arrows, that adds conviction to the trade. And the key thing here is have patience. We're waiting for these compression breaks or support and resistance levels to be touched, and then reverse off of them. This requires patience. I mean, you have to really sit there and wait for these trades to set up. You don't want to be chasing is the main thing, because if you start chasing these trades, it's getting too extended. It's likely to reverse on you, and you're going to get trapped in there, and your stop is going to be way too far away. So that's very important to look at the proper entries in this. All right, so this is just kind of the Compass Dominator combo, how I use it in combination. On the Dominator system, obviously bullish is if the Dominator background is green and you have a buy signal. That makes the Dominator bullish. If you have the background red and a sell signal, that makes it bearish. But when the Dominator system is lining up with the Compass system, so the Compass system is, in this case, your Compass system would be all green on your current time frame and multi-time frame momentum, and the Dominator system is also green with a green background and buy signals, you can take largest trade size, and it's possible to stay in the trades longer. Now, the caveat to this is a lot of this depends on the market. If you've got a very, very choppy market, like we've had most of this last year, it's very difficult to take large position sizes. So, and I'll say during the day if it's a good idea to just take small size or take, this is quite a nice trend here. If the market's trending for the day, then you can take longer size and stay in longer. If it's chopping around, you want to take your profits, make the profits passive. You want to get out pretty quickly and take the trades, take the profits as quick as you can. And again, the best entry for trades when the Dominator aligns is a bounce off the 15 EMA, a bounce off the VWAP, a breakout of dynamic compression zone, a bounce off of white pivot points. Basically anything when the stock is on a bullish side is bouncing up off of a support area or bouncing down for a short off of a resistance area. That's all that's saying. Buy at support, sell at resistance. Very important. So this is something I'm testing out. I talked a little bit about it in the room today. And this is an overnight strategy that I'm working on developing. It's a new strategy, and it's just in test phase. I've only done 3 of these trades so far, and they're very specific, so they don't happen all the time. But I'm calling it the Dominator Overnight Predictor, just to have a name for it. The Dominator Overnight Predictor. The strategy is attempting to predict the price move in the SPY the following morning. All right, and this is the criteria that I'm looking for. The Dominator would be all green or red for the last 15 minutes or half hour of the day. In other words, as the market comes to a close, we want the Dominator to be showing us all buying or all selling across everything, all solid green or solid red. We also want the Compass system to be all bullish or all bearish, all green and blue or all red and yellow for bearish in conjunction with the Dominator into the close. We want the final candles, at least the last 3 candles. They need to be either all green or all red with a substantial size. I don't want like dojis. I want candles that have some movement to them. And when we get this particular setup, again, Dominator all green for the last 15 minutes to half an hour, Compass all green for the last 15 minutes to half an hour. Final candles, the last 3 candles all need to be green and with a substantial size. This setup is expecting follow through buying or selling to occur the next morning. This is I don't know what the probability of this is yet, but I know that if you're able to take the SPY, just as a example, I took the SPY on Friday, and I'll show you the setup here in a minute. I took the SPY on Friday based on this, but I didn't call it out because I don't know how effective this is going to be. So I took the SPY calls for this morning at $1.35. That's what I get in at. I get in at $1.35. And this market gapped up a little bit this morning, pulled back, and then went ahead. And I sold those things this afternoon at $5 from $1.35 to 5. Big move. And you can catch really good moves, but a lot of times you've got to be careful. You've got to watch to see what the price action is in the morning. You might have to just take the profits quickly if it moves in your favor, and then the market starts to reverse. But the market was pretty strong today, and that was a pretty nice. And I just had one contract. I was just testing it out. But so that's what this is trying to do. Again, with all these criteria are met, then SPY calls a put at the money. SPY calls a put. I bought near or just after the close. So like I bought these on Friday, right about 4 o'clock for the ones that I had for this morning. And there was no setup tonight, so we didn't take any. And then you got to monitor the open and manage the profits if the market moves as expected. So this is a strategy. I'm not suggesting people trade it. I just want you to be aware that this is something I'm working on using the Dominator system and the Compass system in combination, because I found that the Dominator system, if you've got a lot of market internals working in your favor as the market comes to a close, a lot of times that will follow through to the next day. I don't know how many yet. It's, like I said, three times, 3 wins, we'll see. But that's a very small sample, and you have to wait for these things. But I just want you to be aware of this so that if I see that, I'll let everybody know, and those who want to take it can try it, but just take it very small. Again, I have no conviction yet on what the win rate is going to be on this. All right, and I just wanted to show you. This was a setup on Friday. This is the Dominator system on Friday. These are the last 3 candles on the Compass system right here. See the solid green? It was green all the way from about 2 o'clock. See the solid green into the close. Nice candle sizes here. These are nice green candles, these last 3 candles, and all green across the board. So I said, okay, the Compass system now is giving me an okay on that. Let's see what the Dominator system is giving me the okay. Let's see what the Compass system looks like. This was the Compass system right here. This was the end of Friday right here on these 3 candles. These are Fibonacci candles I get set up. See the wick and a tail here. This is a Fibonacci reversal with a pop out of the box signal and another nice green candle toward the close. This is blue, which is all I need, blue or green. So this is what I took, and this is what the market did. This is this morning. This is what the market did this morning. Popped up, and on Fibonacci, it just kept moving up all day long till this afternoon. So that's how I found that setup. Again, there's the last 3 candles, everything green. Last 3 candles, everything green or blue, and I took it. So that's the setup that I'm looking for. Again, I'm calling it the Dominator Overnight Predictor. It's a little wordy, but I didn't know what else to call it. I think I'm calling it the night train, but I think I'll just stick with that. This is for the annual review. I just kind of wanted to talk about what the Compass Options Trading Room rules, what we're trying to accomplish inside the room. What I'm trying to accomplish for the members. We're trying to help members become consistently profitable traders under all market conditions. This is really critical. 2022 was a terrible year for trading. It was a first bearish year we've had in a long time. Went on for the whole 12 months, and a lot of traders get clobbered in 2022, and a lot of them that I know gave it up because it had been, basically bullish for years, and they could not handle this change. So the idea is to help members become consistently profitable under all market conditions, bullish, bearish, and choppy. I want to work on teaching members the most effective use of the Compass and the Dominator systems. We work on that all the time, and I have videos on all of these. We want to educate members on identifying and trading the highest probability trade setups while being patient. This is really important, and this is the key. Learning how to find the highest probability trade setups and being able to sit around and wait for them, wait for those setups to come to you so that you can trade them. And we want to accomplish these goals in a relatively low stress and disciplined environment. That what I'm trying to do is stay away from the hyper scalping and the scalping, the antacid type trading where it's you're basically your stomach's in a knot trying to make these trades. I just don't think that's a sustainable way to trade for a long time. So those are what we're trying to. Those are the goals we're trying to achieve. Just kind of a quick recap of the 2022 trading environment. We had a year-long bear market. This is the worst market since the 2008 financial crisis. Most difficult trading environment in many, many years, as we repeat. Many retail traders were not able to adjust their trading strategies, and mindset blew up their accounts or simply gave up. And I know lots and lots of people this happened to. Swing trading was particularly difficult because of the many gaps at the open and violent bear market rallies. And that's what makes swing trading so difficult in a bear market with a lot of rallies. All these gaps, very difficult to swing trade. And if you survived the 2022 trading environment, you were well positioned to be a consistently profitable trader. And everybody obviously here in the room has done so. And you're to be congratulated because this was a tough year. And I think that as we get into a more bullish environment eventually, you're going to find it trading much easier. This was the performance recap. This just continued, but I don't know where. Get this backwards, I think. All the live trading rooms, these are all the trades in the live room. We had 340 total trades, 298 wins, 86%, 45 losses, 13%, 4 scratches. Profit factor 2.16. If you don't know what profit factor is, anything over 1 is profitable. Anything over 1.5 or 2 is really good. So that was pretty good, and that's for the whole year. For the live trading room using the compass only from October 3rd to 12/31. The reason I separated this out was on October 3rd is when we started with the Dominator system. So I tracked my trades with when the compass system was aligned, but not the Dominator. The Dominator was basically just chopping. So I wanted to look at what the compass system did. Compass system from October 3rd to 12/31, 151 total trades, 135 wins, 89.4%, so right around that 90% win rate, 14 losses, 91.3%, and 2 scratches. Profit factor 3.57. So you see the profit factor actually get better as we get better and better at finding these high probability trade setups. In the live room using the compass and Dominator in combination, here's when we were using the compass system and the Dominator system. So the compass lined up, the Dominator lined up with buy signals. You can see there's fewer trades, 123 trades. We had 151 here, 123 trades. When they both lined up, 119 wins, 96.7% win rate. This is like crazy, and this is really crazy. Out of that, again, when they both line up. Now they don't line up all the time, but when they did line up, this is what the win rate was: 3 losses, 2.4%, 1 scratch. Profit factor 12.41, which is pretty much astronomical for trading options. Really high. And the SPY Super System, again, this was a beta test. I didn't call out many of these in the room because I was testing out using the compass system and the Dominator system together for SPY trades. I had 100 trades, 86 wins, which was 86% win rate, 10 losses, 10%, 4 scratches, 4%. But notice the profit factor, 14.17. And the reason that is because you can, in a SPY, you can actually cut the losses pretty quickly because you're not trying to take these things overnight. You're just trading in the trend. If the trend fails, you get out. So the profit factor was very high. So a really good year. I mean, I really feel good about the trading for this past year. And this is put credit spreads I've got. I'm not going to go over this. This is something I have a video on, but if you want to read about it, it's right here. Just how to do put credit spreads. The market has not been conducive to put credit spreads. We also how to use debit spreads as a profitable day trade. I have a posting in Reddit on this that you can read about. How we use those. I also have a video on it, and this is a post on the Heikin-Achi candles. So you can if you want to, you can learn about the Heikin-Achi candles. And this is a link to my library where all the videos are. If you can't get them or you're having trouble, just call Rory at the office, and he'll get them out to you. And make sure you're also in the Discord room. We've got Savvy Trader in there and Dr. No in there, and they are just doing an unbelievably bang-up job in there, posting information on the trades we take, the trades we talk about, when we buy, what the sell order is, and they're also answering lots of questions, posting a lot of technical analysis and chart setups for educational purposes. The stocks I'm watching for tomorrow These are the bullish ones. I'm looking at Unity, looking at Wayfarer, AEHR, NVIDIA, and Square. And short bearish, I'm looking at STNG, DWAC, BKE, and Buckle, and DGX. I'm just looking at those four. Again, you've got to wait till the morning to see whether they're potential or not. And you want to take the ones that are matching the market direction. And again, for entry criteria, look for long entries to break over Monday's high with a high probability trade setup. Look for shorts to break below Monday's low with a high probability trade setup, and try to take trades that are trading with the market trend. All right, so that's it for this this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative for you. There's probably a little bit of dead air at the beginning. I'm sorry about that, but again, good luck to everybody. I appreciate everybody being in the room. We have a lot of members now, and it's very gratifying to see everybody working and learning to take high probability trade setups. I think our track record speaks for itself. Obviously, we're going to have losses. Everybody has losses, but I think the track record is outstanding, especially in a bad year. And we're really grateful to have everybody in the room working with me on this, because everybody that posts trades and posts questions and posts comments, all very helpful. So again, have a great night or a great morning whenever you're looking at this video, and I will see everybody in the room. Have a great evening.